Joining us now, Jared Bernstein. He's the former chair of the Council of Economic Advisors and served as chief economist and economic advisor to then Vice President Joe Biden. So let's just pick up where we were in our conversation.
And then I got a question about the tariffs before the end of this. But we were talking about before we came into the out of break that this headline from the New York Times today about China, and you'll put it up. It says China is finding ways. Can I hold it up?
Yeah.
China is finding ways to replace. Look at this. I do all the things. China is finding ways to replace American farmers. China has long relied. I want them. Thank you. Yes. Okay. So they've long relied on U.S. for soybeans, but with new steep tariff, it's likely to look to even more Brazil and Argentina. Right. And we were talking about the fact that like China has, we played on our show. The Chinese government has said that they do not care about what they may lose from America because they have, and I'm paraphrasing, but they've been here for 5,000 years and they plan to be here for 5,000 years more, that they are not budging and that they will not be negotiating. And now they're going elsewhere.
Yeah, once you lose your supply chain, it's really hard to get it back, which is why American farmers are so deeply upset about this policy. Even those who would support Trump electorally are worried about this. Now, the U.S. produces 28% of global soybean production. That's a lot, and that's what we've traded with China. Brazil produces 40%. 40%, well more than we do. So China can shop away from the U.S. when it comes to soybeans. Unfortunately, we cannot shop away from China when it comes to things like critical minerals that we need as inputs to much of what we produce in the technology space. So this is a very challenging deal for American production.
So let's talk the economics here, because help me understand, Mr. Economic Advisor, how, if I impose a tax, and certain industries are impacted negatively. Let's say, I don't know, farmers.
Yeah.
And then I say, let's create some extra money for those farmers so that they're not impacted by.
Bail them out?
Yeah.
Like they did in the first Trump.
What economic sense does that make? And what does that tell you, or what should it tell you as an administration, that maybe your first move, imposing the tax, was a boneheaded move, that you now have to go spend extra money you ordinarily would not have to spend to bail out industries that are impacted?
You're way too rational about all this.
Oh, my God.
I agree with you 100%.
And it's Sunday morning.
Yeah, no. Look, the idea here is you're fixing something you didn't need to break in the first place. And Simone just correctly pointed out what not everybody's going to remember. They did this in Trump 1. They bailed out the farmers, and the trade system for agriculture, which is why the farmers are so unhappy, was actually going fine. I mean, we sold lots of our agriculture to other countries, which is why you see farmers getting so unhappy, because export markets are so critical to them. You know, this whole business of how other countries are ripping us off. In fact, much of what happens in trade, and China does violate this, so let's be clear about this, much of what happens in trade, the vast majority, are two parties agreeing that I'm going to sell you this for this price and you're going to sell me that for this price. There's no ripping off going on at all. And to take export markets away from farmers in a way that China is actively restructuring their supply chain, that is lasting damage.
So this headline is the difference. The fact that China is now finding ways to replace American farmers. American farmers, you're going to SOL here, because there's nothing Donald Trump is going to be able to do to fix that once it's done.
If we were the only country making soybeans, China would have a problem. They wouldn't be able to go to the different grocery store, as it were. But in fact, Brazil produces a larger share of the global supply than we do.
I mean, the beef is also, I just think about, I interned in Beijing in college, and I remember going to a restaurant, I'm from Nebraska, and seeing Omaha beef on the menu at a very particular restaurant. And the exporting, the farm, this is how people are sustaining their families, sustaining communities. These are jobs. And when we do not have the people who are buying the soybeans, the beef, right, some of the things that we do make here in America, okay, we are farmers, people. Our agriculture industry is strong. We're not making clothes, but we're highly productive.
Probably the most productive farming industry in the world.
See, look at this. This is American exceptionalism.
But Trump doesn't appreciate that.
But can we talk about these tariffs?
Yeah.
On the tariffs, now, I'm no economics major, okay? But on the tariffs, it's my understanding How is negotiating the tariffs going to bring manufacturing back to America?
It's not.
Okay. Because that's what Donald Trump said he wanted to do.
And I'll tell you why it's not. Because half of what our manufacturers import, what they buy from other countries, is input into their own production. In economics, it's called...
Give us an example.
Intermediate goods. We just talked about one. They're called rare earths, but really what it means is a set of minerals that we don't produce here. We actually mine some of them, but we don't refine them. We don't process them. So in order to get the magnets and the germanium, there's technical names for all these metals that go into missiles, into drones, into cars, into computers, we have to import them. Many of those goods are made here. Half of our imports are inputs into our own manufacturing. So when you make them more expensive, you make U.S. manufacturing less competitive. And that's why this didn't work in Trump 1. He actually put our manufacturing sector into a bit of recession, and it's why it won't work in Trump 2. Now, let me make one other point. That doesn't mean that our government should abandon the notion of domestic production here, in this country. I think that sometimes you can go too far the other way and say, oh, well, we're just toast. We can't do anything for our manufacturing workers. I think that's both politically a mistake, but also economically. And in the Biden administration, we found a way using more carrots than sticks to really incentivize domestic production in key sectors, including key energies, batteries, EVs, and so on. So I don't want people to take the message from this that there's nothing we can do to help places that have been hurt by globalization, but what they're doing is going to hurt those places.
The battery plants in Kentucky are something that Governor Bashir ran on re-election on.
Yeah, I look.
The CHIPS Act.
The CHIPS Act is a very good example. So while China is looking to replace the American farmer because it's basically saying they got no F's left for the U.S. when it comes to this. To put it
Sunday morning, my man.
I know. That's why I kept it clean.
He did.
I kept it clean. But you do have our European allies who figured out that they need, in order to deal with this administration, a direct line to Trump, noting through the European Union, though the European Union has considerable heft in trade and regulations, Trump's trade advisor, Peter Navarro, has regularly declined to meet European officials. Conversations on trade with Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick have been friendly and even sympathetic. But it has been clear to European officials, here's where you drop the beat right here, that he does not speak for the administration. Trump alone is making policy decisions, and they may change without notice. So we're clear, and I've been saying this for the 10 years that we've been in this vortex of Trump, that nothing happens in that orbit without his command and control of it. And it doesn't matter your title or position, from Secretary of State to Economic Advisor to Secretary of Commerce, that he is the one that everyone ultimately has to deal with. So in the final analysis, this economic policy is a reflection of the thinking of one man.
Correct.
And our European allies now are saying, we're going to have to deal with him directly. How does that work? As a former economic advisor, how does that go around work if you're Howard Lutnick or Peter Navarro?
It works very badly, as you can see right now. If you talk to 4 Trump administration officials about what this tariff policy is supposed to do, I guarantee you're going to get 8 answers. And you're going to get 8 different answers at 10 a.m. than you are at 5 p.m.
Yes.
Because Trump is extremely transactional and whimsical. And at the end of the day, he doesn't understand or care about any of the details.
By the way, he went to Wharton.
Yeah, well...
Did he, though, or did they just give him a degree?
Discussion.
We don't know. We will fact check it. NBC News has not independently confirmed.
His goal here is to have people come to him for favors, to have other countries grovel, to have businesses knock on the door of the Oval and say, please. That's his only goal.
But how does that help us? Because I'm just looking at Vietnam, for example, and he said, oh, we're on the phone with Vietnam. Vietnam negotiating down to 0 tariffs and not putting tariffs on the United States doesn't help America's economic situation, but it does cripple the Vietnamese economy.
I want to know how it helps the penguins. What do the penguins do?
Yeah, what did the penguins do?
What did they do?
Jared?
Anybody know what the penguins do?
I mean, the penguins, my mind is blown on this stuff. Look, the idea that sweeping tariffs are going to have any of the positive impacts that they say is completely implausible on the economics for reasons we just talked about. Half of our imports go to manufacturing inputs. We don't make a lot, we don't make coffee and bananas here. We're not going to. Maybe if they accelerate global warming, we have a better hope of that. But let's not go there. So the basic foundation of this is broken. So what happens? Again, you get administration officials explaining different rationale depending on where Trump's whiplash is on that moment. And the markets, who are a pretty good arbiter, like them or hate them, they're a pretty good arbiter of what's happening in the near term around the next corner, have shown that this is not only bad for stocks and the kind of wealth effects we've seen with trillions of dollars in wealth losses. We are starting to see what people on Wall Street call a sell America trade. And that is as worrisome as China finding new, pathways to American farmers. That's the kind of damage you can't repair quickly. That's an abrogation of a national treasure called the U.S. as a safe haven, a place where you can depend on for business, for investment, whose debt is risk-free. Once you start screwing around with safe haven status, you're really threatening long-term damage.
It's giving uncertainty. Jared Bernstein.